ओमज्ञानातिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषाय शून्यवादी पाशादिदेशधारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। There was once a devotee recalls, he went to one funeral and in America, so it's a Christian world. And after the funeral time, the priest will ask, at least somebody say some good words about him. So whole audience was silent. Nobody saying anything because he's not done anything worthwhile for anybody to comment upon. And finally, one person says, the priest says, nobody anything to say about him, anything good he did. And finally one person says, his brother is worse. That's all. Well, he has a brother who is still worse than him. That's all we can say about him. But nothing positive we can talk about him. So similarly, all our life also. Krishna doesn't have to say something like that. It should be something that, yes, it is very pleasing. Om Tat Sat here indicates, yesterday we were discussing this point, we just have to keep developing on it, that all our activities finally, our focus should be how whatever service that we are offering to the Lord, I offer to the best of the quality possible with a prayer to the Lord still to accept it. Now the mind becomes focused on that, then a devotee is absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Whatever it is, That is how actually all of us began our spiritual life. When the first time we came to temple, we used to ask some services there. And we used to get service, we used to do the best of the quality possible. And after that, we offer the service and the devotees, oh, very nice, we are very happy. That's what began. The same thing should continue. There should not, complacency should not go away. Somehow we should not lose an attitude. So whatever we do, we keep improving the quality of that, day by day, and pray to Krishna. The Krishna cannot be perfect. I am a conditioned soul. I am conditioned in this world by so many limitations. So many conditions are limiting my life, including my own situation. But I offer some service to you, and I pray to you, please accept it. This actually, when the mind is absorbed in this, then what happens? We get saved from absorption in the negative part of this world. Yes, positive part we absorb. There was once Prabhupada was going to a garden, and there was one devotee who was Prabhupada's servant, Shrutakriti. And he knew gardening, so he knew different plants. So Prabhupada kept pointing, what is this? So he's telling this plant, it gives this flowers or it gives this fruit. So Prabhupada was walking through the garden and kept asking him, the temple garden. And then Prabhupada pointed at something, what is this? So he knew, he said, Prabhupada, this is useless, because it was a weed. Prabhupada looked at him, you are useless. He was surprised. Prabhupada said, yes, you are useless. Because in Krishna's kingdom, Krishna's design, nothing is useless. Because you are useless, you have such ideas, something is useless. Nothing is useless. You don't know what is the utility this plant will have. So similarly, actually, in a Krishna's viewpoint, in Krishna's, in the spiritual world, all of us have some use. All of us. Some utility. Everybody is in a different flavor. Just like mother may have 100 children, but every child is dear to the mother. And Prabhupada had the same attitude actually, and the same attitude towards devotees. And sometimes he chastised them, sometimes he used to correct them, but always he had, the devotees used to say that we could feel when Prabhupada is there, even when he's speaking or when you are there with Prabhupada, he is relating to each one of us. His heart is so like an ocean. And he has affection for each one of us. And he's relating and he's, like that. That was a specific quality. There was once devotee, he said he became the temple president. And this is Badrinath. So he wanted to, hear some word of praise from Prabhupada. So he told Prabhupada, how do you look at a temple president, What do you think at him? Because he said there were only 20 temple presidents at that time, 20 centuries. I was thinking Prabhupada will say, you are an empowered representative of Lord Chaitanya, something like that. He was just, waiting to hear something, encouragement. He could immediately make out. That's the nature of an Acharya. Prabhupada, the temple president means anything happens, you are responsible. Any problem happens, you are responsible. So, in this way, actually, Prabhupada was conducting his movement, and the devotees were, they developed some great sense of attachment. Every angle he used to take care of his devotees. Once some devotees went to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada said, call them. You also come, call this person also. So they came to Prabhupada's room. And then Prabhupada said, bring my white bag. Prabhupada had a famous bag, the personal bag of Prabhupada, white bag. And all devotees knew, every temple Prabhupada used to carry that. He was very devotee expert. In that will be his checkbook. Prabhupada was personally taking care of Mayapur Vrindavan. He had his checkbook to take care, BBT checkbook will be there. And then Prabhupada glasses will be there. Some whatever basic things, all kept neatly arranged in tilak, mirror for the tilak, pen, everything used to be kept in that white. It was very revered, worship bag. Anyway, it's a bag of a pure devotee. Many temples they maintain all the things Prabhupada used, his cane, his slippers, everything is. So what happens, they bring that and Prabhupada takes out. He said both of us got surprised. Prabhupada said, keep this, $50. So Prabhupada, we cannot take money from you. Prabhupada said, not for you. For your children. You cannot say no. Both of them were grahastha, they had some children. Prabhupada wanted to show some affection. This is for your children. Buy something for them. So personally he was relating to the devotees, not treating like an impersonal philosophy. He tried to understand. Impersonal is what it has. His idea is, some hanky-panky spiritual. Prabhupada's idea was not that. Prabhupada could understand there are so many individuals who are there in his movement. And he was personally relating to them. And he touched their heart in a very personal way. In fact, what Prabhupada was in Rishikesh, so he announced to the devotees that I feel I cannot live any longer now. In fact, somebody had visited him, some governor of Madras, Narayan, and some Bajaj, the head of the Bajaj company, is a huge company even now. And they told Prabhupada, they saw Prabhupada is very sick. They met Prabhupada before, they felt bad. So Prabhupada, they were rich people, so we have some guest house in Rishikesh. It's a nice place, holy place also. I think the fresh air may help you. So Prabhupada said, okay, let us try. So with a few devotees, he went there, they arranged a beautiful accommodation there, and the devotees were serving Prabhupada there. One day Prabhupada told them, I think I am going to leave my body now. I better go to Vrindavan. And he said that so much affection was there, the devotees were simply crying hearing that. And then Prabhupada came to Vrindavan. And then after that, this is from Bhakti Charu Maharaj. When they came to Vrindavan, Prabhupada told the devotees that, that there was a huge kirtan. There were hundreds of devotees in Vrindavan at that time. So they had the Prabhupada has come, they didn't know anything why Prabhupada has come. Heavy, kirtan, ecstatic, everybody is dancing, jumping. And then after everything is over, Prabhupada used to address everybody. He said, I have come to Vrindavan, I am going to leave my body now. So the whole ecstasy turned to some great sorrow. He said, devotees could not handle that. And then Prabhupada went to his room and he told the Bhakti Charu Maharaj used to cook that, don't cook for anything for me from now on, and don't force me to eat also. I cannot eat anything. He said the whole situation became so gloom around the world, everybody was informed, and devotees started landing up. So then they had a huge meeting where everybody was discussing what to do. So they decided, because Prabhupada was fasting, already 3 days, no eating, and that way anybody will leave the body. So they decided, yes, we go to ask Prabhupada to stay for some more time. And they went to Prabhupada, some of them. I think that time the senior most was Kirtananda, so he went and asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, all of us have decided this, we want to request you to stay with us for some more time. And he said when he could not complete the sentence, he completely broke down. So this kind of attachment, even parents cannot evoke into the children, correct? Nowadays. They are waiting rather. In fact, old age, as we become older, today the situation is that the biggest problem is children are not there, neither they want to take care of the parents, old parents. They happily put them in a nursing home, some nurses take care, they are happy. And that's a tradition, correct? The world has become like that. But here look at it, not the parent, the spiritual master. And look at the attachment. That when I was hearing that, it's so intense, so thick. He said, Rishikesh, when Prabhupada announced that, my body was shaking. They were like frightened, they don't know what has come. So much affection Prabhupada developed in this moment. So please try to understand, it's a personal philosophy. Prabhupada is the person, Krishna is the person. And many times we discuss that. We think Krishna consciousness is like that, if you obeisance to Prabhupada, it's something like a rubber stamp. We offer some bhoga to Krishna, Krishna puts another rubber stamp. And I got food, now prasadam ho gaya, khao. And we don't have any personal relationship. Prabhupada said, yes, in the beginning of Krishna consciousness, our whole attitude is very impersonal. And what was Prabhupada's hallmark was, he was personal from the right, from the word go. He is not an impersonal man. We are all still impersonal. Prabhupada is very personal, very, very personal. In the sense, he chastised them, he corrected them. Sometimes Bhakticharya Maharaj said, I made a very nice dish of Prabhupada. Prabhupada first time asked me to cook. I cooked, it was very nice. Prabhupada was very happy. He told so many people. And everybody was telling me, Prabhupada is so happy. So I was really the height. And the next day when I cooked, Prabhupada ate. You have no standard. One day you cook nicely, next day you don't know how to. So he was just, able to relate to them very personally and able to encourage them also. So anyway, now coming to the point, the first thing we started with that, at the end of the life, when we die, generally, number one we should understand is that we are not forever. Some places they have started, people book a coffin for themselves, and Christian and other religions. And Hindus, they book their funeral. Now itself they book the Shamshan Ghat, they arrange, this should be done, this should be done. Just think about that. And then after that, there is something called Smriti in Vaishnava. People keep a picture of the devotee and then they discuss something good. Do you think anything good we have done? There is nothing to speak on. Only we cannot speak how many horrible things it is. That is the reality we are living in. So we should continue in Krishna consciousness. And it's not that Krishna consciousness is an advertisement. And the things by advertisement are always never good. And Krishna consciousness is rather a serious attempt to please Krishna. That sincerity we should develop. Yes. And pray to Krishna, whatever we are offering. Therefore it is said, yesterday we discussed this point, whatever kind of charity we do, whatever kind of sacrifice we do, then whatever kind of food we eat, whatever kind of worship we do, and whatever deities we worship, whatever, all the activities in our life are permeated by sattva, rajas, tamas. But whatever it is, please offer it to Krishna. Without offering to Krishna, just like with chanting also. Chanting can also be done, fresh way. But the overall attitude should be feeling, Krishna, please accept this. Now this should continue. Now this is what is actually the hallmark. And definitely devotee offers everything to Krishna first class. He tries to offer first class. But whatever we are offering, the feeling in the Patram pushram phalam tohi yuma bhakta prayachati. Bhaktya. Now the word is bhaktya, with devotion when somebody offers. So the spiritual life is very personal. It is a personal relation between the devotee and the Lord. A devotee is situated to the lotus feet of the Lord, is constantly praying to the Lord for shelter, for protection, for guidance. And Prabhupada used to tell the devotee that actually when you advance in Krishna consciousness, you'll feel as if you are sitting on Krishna. Like in Krishna's hand you are sitting. Krishna is taking care of us. We feel like that. Otherwise, we have no idea. We have no idea. We have no idea to understand. They were saying we were all sitting in a big hall. It was very cold. And suddenly light came, and it just happened that the light was on Prabhupada. Some window, whole light was on Prabhupada. So the devotees were feeling, something special. Prabhupada said, yes, when you advance in Krishna consciousness, you will, even if you see the sunlight, you will see love of Krishna. Because everything is an arrangement out of affection by Krishna. Correct? You are feeling cold, we see sunlight, you remember this is Krishna's arrangement only. You feel Krishna's affection. We see wind, I feeling so cool, we see again Krishna's affection. So everything we see in the life, we see as Krishna's affection. We don't see anything as independent of Krishna. The devotees feel completely sheltered by the Lord. And in fact, he tells one instance that once what happened, this is from Badrinath Prabhu. We should tell the name because it is personal philosophy, not impersonal. So I'm devoted to it. Why? Personal philosophy. So what happens that Prabhupada was in Vrindavan at that time, the last stages. One person whose father was some Khurana, very big doctor, and he requested his father that can he come and have a look at Prabhupada, because Prabhupada had told, I'm not interested in all this medicine. So, and he had told, don't take me to hospital at the time of contact. So this person came to meet Prabhupada, and he brought with him, many expert doctors of different kind. So they came, and they looked at Prabhupada, all the doctors and everybody had. And he says, I saw the condition of Prabhupada, and I'm a doctor. He had no flesh remaining. He had become very, very, very thin. Some 27 kilos something. And whole body was just a skeleton. He says, medically, the person feels great discomfort at this point. It's a painful condition. He said, generally whenever I met patient in that condition, patient cry. And they asked doctor to help because it is just a piece of bones and nerves and all. It is very painful condition medically. But he did not ask anything for himself. He rather was telling, you have come from Delhi all the way, 2.5, 3 hours, he was so tired. He called somebody, take arrangement, they can stay in the guest house. He said, I was amazed. This personality is able to, in this condition, still speak, still preach. It is impossible. This is only because, this is the condition of a pure devotee. A pure devotee, Prabhupada used to say, the greatest quality of pure devotee is that he is able to tolerate discomfort. He is able to tolerate. There was one devotee, he says that something happened and then Prabhupada banged him very nicely. And next day Prabhupada, Prabhupada could see he's still disturbed. Prabhupada said, yes. When you advance in Krishna consciousness, the first symptom is you're able to tolerate, and you become humble, and you're able to tolerate the discomfort of the material existence. Today, there is no training. No parent gives this training to the children. Able to tolerate. They cannot tolerate anything. Correct? Rather, we pamper the children. No, they should be able to tolerate. There is some discomfort, tolerate. Then the person becomes very sober. The child grows up very sober, very calm. That's like an American culture is there. Bus comes 5 seconds late, they go impatient. They start stamping their legs on the ground. That is how it is. Indians have traditional lot of tolerance capacity. Therefore, they sit in court, 40 years case goes on. They go for ration. The tolerance is used for that. 6 hours they stand in queue. Correct? They go to it. They're sitting in a train. Train is 2 days late. By nature, Indians have tolerance, tapashakti. But that is dovetailed in some nonsense. This tapashakti, which is naturally there in this country, it's in the blood, should be used for Krishna consciousness. Correct? Train them. You make youngsters today sit anywhere 10 minutes, they cannot sit. Mind is so blown, they cannot sit. Because they never tolerated anything. Tapasya means I don't like it, but it is good for me. I'll go through that capacity. No, they are like 1 minute. Something they like, they don't get, they're very disturbed. And parents also keep pampering on them. Correct? You want this, they immediately want to give to that child. What a child will learn. So tolerance is actually a very nice quality for a devotee. And devotee knows. He knows that anyway I am there in this world for a short time. And I am going to go, I am planning to go to Krishna's lotus well. So it's in anyway temporary, no? Whatever discomfort is there, tam titiksha bharata, matra sparsha sakonteya, sitoshna sukha dukkada. Okay, some difficulties there, it will not last forever. Like a season, things come and they go, they can tolerate. So this kind of a consciousness should develop. Then devotee is, very serious. Tapasya is one of the most beautiful ornament of a devotee. And as he advances, his capacity to tolerate should continue. Correct? And there are different meditations given for tolerance. Just like the earth tolerates the weight of so many things. The mountains tolerate the rain. And even though mountain tolerates the whole the storm and the rain, still it gives back rivers. Giving back. People talk about giving. In this world, nobody gives. People are only takers. Prabhupada was perhaps the only person, the only giving. Prabhupada said, I have not come to your country to take anything. And people can feel that. And they felt this person has not come to take anything. Because anybody Swamis goes, they go to America to collect some money, to collect some foolish disciples. Correct? And there is no proper training at all. Basically, they cheat. And here Prabhupada went not to take anything. There are so many sannyasis that went to America, came back in pant and shirt. They forgot that also. There are so many famous sannyasis. They came wearing some other dress. Prabhupada did not take anything. He changed their dress, he changed their food, and he gave them so much spiritual knowledge that their life completely transformed. And then when they could see this man, this personality is actually come to give us something, truly wants to give us something, they gave their whole life to Prabhupada. Correct? With whole affection. And even today, Prabhupada is not there now, practically 35 years are over. Still they remember Prabhupada and still they glorify him. Here, out of sight, out of mind. 6 months we don't see somebody, forgets us. And sometimes we just, here they keep every day thinking about Prabhupada. Some of them, because of whatever reasons, they even left the movement. But still they keep remembering Prabhupada and they still keep meditating upon him. So you can imagine, this is the actually nature of a devotee to give. Now the tolerating capacity should be there. And at the same time we should not be foolish. Once what happened, one devotee was doing Gayatri. So Prabhupada was leaving outside. So he was finishing his Gayatri word by word nicely. And Prabhupada left. And the devotees also left. He also, for a morning walk, many devotees used to accompany Prabhupada. It is a privilege. So he finished and then he ran in a hurry. He came without chappal. And it was bitter cold. Vrindavan winters, it is very cold. So Prabhupada noticed after some time. Prabhupada said, why? You don't have slippers now? So Prabhupada said, it's okay. Prabhupada said, already there are many difficulties in the material existence. Don't increase it. Some, some glass or some nail goes on your feet and it is bitter cold. Don't have to do it. Go bring your slipper. So it's not that we have to tolerate means I create artificial difficulties in my life because I have to tolerate. No, don't create artificial difficulties. Fulfilling the order of the spiritual master and Krishna, there are difficulties. And now I will do service whole day, I'll not eat on it. Now don't do all those things. Don't create difficulties. Don't do that. Whatever is there, tolerate. But not that Krishna is saying, tolerate means I'll create difficulties. Now I'll go without slippers, walk on the road, like that. You don't create, don't be foolish. And at the same time, devotee being sheltered by the Lord it is like when you wear slipper, and we can extend the symbolism. When you wear slippers and you're walking, what is happening? The difficulties of mental existence you cannot feel. So similarly, a devotee, when they become Krishna conscious, when he takes Om Tat Sat, when everything is offering to the Lord, he comes to such beautiful transcendental consciousness that actually he does not feel the difficulties, even they keep coming by the laws of karma. Right? Rather, he turns difficulties into auspicious condition. Like Parikshit Maharaj is close to death, 7 days remaining. He turned that condition into the most auspicious situation by hearing about Krishna for 7 days. He turned that around. Just like sometime Rahu Ketu, there is an eclipse is there. It is considered very inauspicious. But devotees turn it into the most auspicious situation by chanting during that time. They don't go out, but they keep chanting. And they do kirtan. They turn that so-called inconvenient condition into the most convenient condition. The devotee in Krishna consciousness, they wearing Krishna conscious slippers. So the difficulties of life which are there, one thing they know is temporary. Number two, they know on the path back to Godhead, which is so glorious, which is the eternal existence. This is what is there. This is small difficulties. In fact, Prabhupada in Vrindavan and all the devotees had come to Mayapur this time, and most of the devotees had fallen sick because they're not used to the food and the water and the climate. I don't think that was bisleris that time. So water also was suddenly a reaction to that. Many fell sick, devotees. So the Prabhupada was doing in the morning walk, they were going. So Prabhupada said, devotees, there are no suffering. So everybody looked at Prabhupada. They didn't say anything. But one devotee had, he used to always joke with Prabhupada. Many devotees, Prabhupada used to always tell them, now you take the role of atheist, and they will take the role of atheist, and Prabhupada will start banging them. So they had a privilege, they could talk at least. So Prabhupada, how do you say? So many devotees are sick now here. Prabhupada said, oh, that is for a small time. We are going to the spiritual world. This is not even, if you are meditating how we are going to the ecstatic spiritual world, you will not even feel the small sufferings of this world. In that way, so many ways we can understand Krishna consciousness. So when a devotee knows he has taken shelter of Krishna, he also becomes fearless. Just like, when you go to a Jew, somebody is telling example, you go to a Jew, and then what happens to the Jew? Sometimes the tiger is roaring. So he says, I saw a small child. He was holding his father's hand and he was roaring back. He is not scared. He was feeling his father is there, no worry. And he was fearless, he was feeling. You roar, I roar back at you. The same way when the devotee takes shelter of Krishna, his existence is fearless. Everybody in this world is full of fear. But the devotee is fearless. It's very peaceful. And he has no suffering. Imagine, he comes to a beautiful state of consciousness. And this is what actually Prabhupada has given us. And this is what Krishna consciousness movement is all about.